Russia launched a massive air attack on Kiev with ballistic missiles and drones in a 7-hour assault on Friday night that left at least 15 people injured, reported Ukrainian police on May 24th. In total, Russia launched 14 Iskander-M ballistic missiles and approximately 250 drones across Ukraine, according to Ukraine's Air Force. Kiev bore the brunt of the assault, while Dnipropetrovsk, Odessa and Zaporizhia regions were also attacked. Ukraine's air defenses shot down 6 of the ballistic missiles and neutralized 245 drones. Multiple districts in Kiev suffered damages, including debris from drones, causing fires in residential high-rises, injuring civilians in their homes, reported the State Emergency Service. The shopping mall, private houses, non-residential facilities and vehicles were also damaged.
The kids called me at 3 in the morning screaming, "Mom, we were hit. The balcony is on fire." I told them to grab their documents and the 2 cats. They tried to catch them but failed. Me and my sister were in Fastiv at our parents'. We got to Kyiv by train and the police helped us get home. We were home at 5 in the morning. We found an ambulance for the children. The kids were hiding in an underground parking lot, waiting for us.
One day later, in the early hours of May 25th, Russian forces launched yet another devastating wave of assaults, this time with 367 drones and missiles to attack Ukraine, killing 13 people and injuring more than 60. In the Kiev region, Ukrainian police reported 4 people were killed and 23 were wounded, including 3 children, while 11 people were injured by falling drone debris in Kiev city. In the Zhytomyr region, 3 children aged 8, 12 and 17 were killed after strikes on residential areas. 12 others were hospitalized, reported the State Emergency Service on Telegram. The service also wrote that 4 people were killed in the Khmelnytsky region and 5 wounded after private homes were destroyed in the attack. In Mykolaiv, a drone strike collapsed 2 floors of an apartment building, killing a 77-year-old man and injuring 5 others. The regional governor of Kharkiv stated on Telegram that a 63-year-old woman was killed in the hostile attacks and 3 people were injured, a 14-year-old boy among them. Ukraine's Air Force reported that 45 of 69 missiles were intercepted by air defenses, and of the 298 Shahed-type drones used in the attack, 266 were neutralized. President Zelensky stated that emergency crews had to respond to over 30 towns and villages following the Russian barrage, which he described as a deliberate assault on civilians. Zelensky once again called for tougher sanctions against Moscow, stressing the need for sustained international pressure, particularly from the US and European allies. He argued that silence from the United States and others only emboldens the Kremlin. Ukraine has brought home 1,000 of its people in a major prisoner of war exchange with Russia. It lasted for 3 days, with the first stage beginning on Friday, May 23rd, when 390 Ukrainians returned home. Among them were 270 soldiers, defenders of different Ukrainian regions, and 120 civilians.
Mom, привет! Mom, привет! Mom, меня обменяли, мам! Мам, я дома, все, меня обменяли, мам!
On the second day of the exchange, a further 307 soldiers returned home. As the Ukrainian president stated, warriors from the armed forces, the State Border Guard Service, and the National Guard of Ukraine came back home. 27 of them were defenders of Mariupol. On the third and final day of the large-scale prisoner exchange with Russia, Ukraine returned 303 service members. According to Ukraine's coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war, the liberated personnel had defended Ukrainian territory across several front lines, including the Donetsk and Lugansk regions, as well as Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, Kherson, Sumy, and Chernihiv. Among those returning are 70 defenders of Mariupol, many of whom were captured during the siege of the city in 2022. This exchange represents the 65th prisoner swap since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion and the 6th this year. Since March 2022, a total of 5,757 Ukrainian captives have been freed through formal exchanges. An additional 536 individuals have been returned through alternative means, according to government figures.